Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason.
And we have both returned to our homes.
Yeah.
And had a week. I had a week that most of it was on Monday. Or when did we talk? Was it Monday?
It was Monday.
So it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay.
One of those. I was up till like 2:00 in the morning finishing up a project.
Oh, jeez.
But I had to determine NAICS codes, NAICS codes, which are antitrust stuff for the SEC. Anyway, super exciting, super important. Riveting.
I use some of those in my job.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, that's funny that we have overlap.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. So I was determining those, and then Wednesday came, and I thought I was done, and whoever I had put the non-system data in hadn't put all the data in, so I had to add the rest of the data and recalculate. So it was two kind of hectic days, but it was okay. I got it done. So
nice.
You just kind of grind, but it was like 24,000 parts.
Oh no.
So it was a bit of a grind, but I have a system now. So
how long does it take to determine a code?
Well, so this is the third year I'm doing it. The first year there was a lot of back and forth and took about 6 months of argument because I wanted to do it 1-to-1, like product level.
Okay.
And you're supposed to do it at business level. And so the codes are supposed to say what the major products of the business are, not a code per a part.
Oh, okay.
So that you can properly portray the amount of dollars associated with those sales for that product. Like we do electrical connectors. Everything that goes into electrical connectors is right here, and how much do you make doing that? And that's how they determine an antitrust thing. So I finally got and so I finally got it to where I know I can do it by. So that's what helps do the 24,000 so quickly, is it's not one at a time.
Okay.
And then last year I thought I was good, and then something showed up as a subcategory. It was like sheep's wool. I'm like, yeah, okay. I can see how it got there because we have like gloves or something, but it was way off. So I've got all the weird outliers cleaned up, and this year was pretty clean. So I felt good about that.
Yeah.
So it's a constantly refining process. And now that we've had that riveting conversation, I'm sure everybody is arts and culture. Like there probably is, there's probably an NAICS code for paint or manufacturing of paint.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the arts. So I guess I can start. Well, first, anything exciting this week?
Well, I said I went bouldering and gave that a try, and it was good. We went with Chloe and some of her coworkers who had a pass, and they get a ton of guest passes.
Oh, cool.
With their membership, like 20 of them. So
nobody wants to do this twice.
Yeah. So we got to go in for mostly free. We had to rent a pair of shoes, and that was about it.
Yeah. Nice.
But it was a lot of fun, and we're both very sore from it because we've never done that or haven't done it in a long time. But it was really good, and I think we're going to try to get in a better condition to do more of it.
Yeah, it's exciting and it's painful, but it is exciting to start being in better shape.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But there is a price to pay. So,
but other than that, it's been good. Just trying to not die of heat exhaustion today.
Yeah. And you're in Portland, so that's the funny part.
Yeah.
Arizona and Tucson and Portland had the same temperature basically today, so that's kind of funny. Well, cool. I was watching this I watched a clip again today, and it was two bookish people discussing. They were playing. He goes, "Are you ready to play a game? It's overrated, underrated."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were doing some classic literature things, and I think I don't know if I can play that game with this topic because I'm not sure where you're at. So I need to kind of gauge where you're at.
Okay.
So
I can go off of what of vibes that I kind of get out there in the world, but I don't know how many of these I've actually read.
well,
Or
this is going to be a different topic. It's not books.
Okay.
It's a different area entirely. So what do you know about architecture?
Very little.
Okay.
I think that's where my artistic knowledge is probably the least developed. I kind of know a few styles, very basic styles, but not too much more.
So let's say, do you know what? So I'll backtrack a little.
Okay.
I was trying to fill credit one time, and I took a class called 20th Century Art and Architecture, or Furniture and Architecture. I think it focused a lot on the furniture associated with architectural movements and art movements.
Okay.
So it's interesting the different movements that came about, and it's interesting where they overlap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting the characters that are involved in those different movements.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a couple of different movements that are associated with different time periods in different areas of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some key individuals in each of these areas, but we studied a lot of them. So do you know Art Nouveau?
Yes.
So
yeah.
That was early 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to kind of stay in 20th century types of architecture because there's plenty of architecture for the rest of the centuries that we don't have the next 3 years of one podcast of 3 years to cover all architecture.
Right.
20th century is too much, but I'm going to hit some highlights. So Art Nouveau is forms of nature.
Okay.
Okay, so swirly lines, vine-like, fluid-like, flowery, and you think of like a fairy kingdom.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you have lots of leaves and flowers and swirly lines in your architecture. The metro stations in Paris, there's a lot of Art Nouveau signs on those.
Okay.
Would like
butterflies and things be in that, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's some really cool, like Tiffany is very much like an Art Nouveau style because they have forms of nature, like the base will be looking like a tree trunk or something like that. So Tiffany jewelry and lamps and all those things, glass, are kind of in that Art Nouveau area.
Yeah, I say butterfly because, again, in this book I'm reading where she's recreating the set of Three's Company, one of the things that she needed to get was this print called the Flapper.
Yeah, and there you go.
Yeah, it's a flapper lady with big butterfly wings, and
that would be the right era. Yes, that's I can picture it. Flappers, 20s, teens and 20s, Art Nouveau. Forms of nature, all that kind of stuff that goes with it. So you're in the right area.
Okay.
Then the other kind of companion, slightly after, is Art Deco, which is interesting. That kind of ties into some of these other forms that play into the final form that we'll talk about. But Art Deco has very strong lines, heavy, strong lines. So when you think about like the 1940s and the very distinct curves. If you think about New York buildings like Empire State Building, where it has those kind of curves and but they're very strong. They're not flowery. They're just set curves and they're heavy. That is Art Deco.
Okay.
It differs from some of the next couple of styles because it's colorful and it's playful. There's some frivolity in it, and it's a jazz era.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of films. There's a lot of big musical dance films that have a lot of Art Deco architecture in them because it was very much 40s and 50s. Before the 50s went minimalist. So early 50s, so late 30s to early 50s, a lot of it. So it's really the 40s that has, you kind of associate with, and that's when the big cars, the big overwrought, huge cars that are like gangster cars. That's what you'd picture. So there is another group called the Bauhaus movement. It's a little bit earlier time frame, and so it is similar to Art Deco.
Yeah.
Except for it's German and it's more severe.
Okay.
So Bauhaus is actually kind of, even though it's earlier than this, Bauhaus is more mid-century.
Okay.
Where it's those clean lines and minimal decoration. So it says it's German. So it's German modernism style, emphasizing functionality, simplicity, and mass production under the principle of form follows function. So Henry Ford, or I'm sorry, Frank Lloyd Wright, did a lot of form follows function, but he was the prairie style or the mission style. And so he had the strong lines, but he was more decorative. So he borrowed more from, Frank Lloyd Wright's was a mix of a little of Art Nouveau because it worked with nature, Art Deco because there was color, Bauhaus because it was form follows function. He was a good mixer of things, and it was his own thing. But it features minimalist designs, geometric shapes, asymmetrical compositions, and industrial materials like concrete, steel, and glass. Often, and it's showcasing glass curtains, walls, and flat roofs. And that's important. So there's that, and the flat roofs and glass curtains is like a whole glass wall. So none of these styles, I think, of all that I'll talk about, Art Nouveau is the one that steps outside of the other styles.
Okay.
Because it's fully swirly. And a lot of the other styles I'm talking about have very geometric. Even Frank Lloyd Wright is very geometric. Sharp angles. His was different because it had natural materials like wood and stone instead of concrete and steel. He used concrete and steel, but even when he did his landmark tulip pillars, they're super strong, but they still were curved and looked like you were under a lily pad. So innovative. But he also incorporated nature. So that was cool. So that one, Art Deco, strong lines. Bauhaus, severe angles, strong lines. They have the glass curtain thing where they have full walls of glass. Then, and that's pretty early, Bauhaus is, and then there's a gap there's kind of some weird fill-ins. But then from the 50s to the 80s, so this is a later style, is brutalist architecture. That one, what have you heard of that one before?
That's like one of my favorites.
Okay.
That I do really like.
Okay.
Like it's a lot of So it's a lot of concrete and
Right.
big slabs of concrete,
Yeah.
wall, floor, ceiling.
Yeah. Some of these look like the outside structure of like football stadiums.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
it's got the supports on the outside, and it kind of, yeah. And there's some really interesting brutalist architecture. I associate it with like Soviet Union and communism,
Yeah.
but it does borrow. It's like a direct inheritor of Bauhaus in many ways, because it prioritizes functionalism, structural honesty, and socialist ideals of affordable public space.
Yeah.
So
I always feel like I really like brutalist stuff because there were some buildings at ASU that were kind of brutalist.
there are some, and as much as they say structural honesty and socialist ideas, they have some really cool looking buildings.
Yeah.
That don't, like, there's this one, it's the there's one I'm looking at here that looks a little like the Roby House, that Frank Lloyd Wright designed, because it's got these big, huge, heavy things, but little small window lines kind of stacked weird.
Yeah.
It has, but it is concrete. I mean, that's the major motif, is concrete.
Yeah.
And it's cool. There's a very famous one that was a band, but it's just really wild forms, because and so that's the kind of the fun thing about it, is that it's just, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different people associated with this. The influences. So we'll go back to Bauhaus.
Okay.
Because that was Walter Gropius, and he's a very important architect. His, and then there was Mies van der Rohe.
Okay.
And then there was another guy, Le Corbusier. So those are kind of the three big hitters of that era.
Okay.
The brutalists borrow from Le Corbusier's use of unfinished concrete. So that's where they kind of, but Le Corbusier was earlier. And there, I gotta show you. I mean, you'll have to look it up. But so he did which I really, really love. He did a cathedral.
Oh.
That is called Chapelle Notre Dame de Haut, and it's the coolest building. It's in France, and it's yeah. Are you looking at it? Is that
yeah? The big curved roof.
Yeah, that. So that's definitely not brutalist.
Right.
But it is concrete, and it is unfinished concrete type of look to it, right?
Yeah. So unfinished, does that just mean it's not like sealed or painted or anything?
Yeah,
or?
no, yeah. It's probably sealed, but not painted, or not with decoration on it.
Okay. So
it's just concrete exterior, which before they'd do concrete and then they'd put faux brick, or they'd put marble, or they'd, something to decorate it.
Yeah. That's the
tiles.
thing. These little windows.
Yeah.
All at weird angles. That's like, that reminds me of the like art museum at ASU.
Yes. Yes, very much. That's a great tie-in, because that's probably who they're borrowing from. And the interior is super cool.
Yeah.
Because it has all the shining different colors coming in. Like, it's great. And it does look like an art museum.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember of Le Corbusier. Then of Walter Gropius, he was a troubled man. But he founded it, and then he had Mies van der Rohe. It's Ludwig Mies van der Rohe is who was his full name.
Okay.
Similar styles, different type of person. And you actually live near a Mies van der Rohe.
Oh, really?
So, Yeah, which I'm kind of jealous of. So, oh, sorry. You don't live near one. You live near a Michael Graves. Sorry. Michael Graves is an inheritor kind of Mies van der Rohe. So,
Hmm.
have you ever seen, I think Target started carrying Michael Graves stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a while ago, like the Scrabble set I have is a Michael Graves Scrabble
Oh,
set. The green one in the kind of plastic white case.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a Michael Graves design. So he designed the Portland Municipal Services Building.
I think I've been there.
Yeah,
Um,
you can look at it. It's a box, but it's a cool box.
mhm.
It's 1120 Southwest Fifth Avenue.
I think that's the one that has the Portlandia statue at it.
Oh, really? I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah. Oh, yep. There it is. Hammered copper statue, Portlandia. Yep. So that's its own.
That's its own thing.
Well, I'm learning stuff. I didn't know that picture in the opening credits to the show Portlandia was showing the Portlandia statue from earlier.
Right.
So I'm dumb. Okay, but I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So all of these, I'm gonna say, are tied together by there's a through line of one single architect who worked with me. Walter Gropius worked with Mies van der Rohe, worked with Le Corbusier, worked with Michael Graves. So that's one end of his career, other end of his career.
Yeah.
And he was the through line.
Okay.
The problem is the whole discussion we've had for a long time and the book you read about separating art and artist.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why he's problematic, and I'll tell you why I think he should probably be forgiven.
Okay.
And that he actually did make efforts to be forgiven.
Okay.
So this is tied to the international style of architecture. And it came out of the 20s and 30s, and it is characterized, and you'll recognize from the characterizations why I mentioned the other ones, but characterized by steel, glass, and reinforced concrete construction. It features flat roofs, curtain walls of glass, and structural honesty, often appearing as stark, functional, and sleekly geometric skyscrapers. So some of the features of Bauhaus and Brutalist all get combined into international style.
Okay.
And it is the style that produced skyscrapers. Yeah, that was this guy's. He did a lot of other stuff, but that was where he ended up, is doing skyscrapers.
Wow.
And he has some problematic associations throughout his life, and they don't stop in his youth.
Okay.
Which is unfortunate. So the one day, this is when we were living in Tempe in some townhouses over. You were born, but I think it's when, it was just before. It might have been just before you were born. Anyway, we lived in these townhouses over, and it was great. But I was watching. I think it's called American Masters. It's a PBS show.
Okay.
And this. They're featuring this architect. And I like architecture. I wanted to be an architect at one point. And my architect uncle told me that to be a mechanical engineer because they're the ones that make the money. And so I did neither. But that's neither here nor there. I still like architecture. I am a fan of Frank Lloyd Wright. What was really interesting, I'll tell you two stories.
Okay.
So I was watching this program, American Masters, and they were talking about this architect who, and they were hanging out at his property.
Okay.
So he lived, he's passed now, but he lived in New Canaan, Connecticut.
Okay.
And he had this property bought a lot of years ago. Well, the first house on it was sometime in the 40s. And he was still living there. And I think he
Wow.
died in 2006. So he died on that property. So
Yeah.
he had it for 60, probably 70 years.
Wow.
He was 98 when he passed. So
Jeez, yeah.
so he covers the 20th century, really.
Right. Yeah.
But his name is Philip Johnson.
Philip Johnson. Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of him, but have you heard of the Glass House? Have you ever seen that?
Is there like a specific one or?
It is a house with all the walls are glass.
I mean, I've seen glass houses. I don't know if I've seen the like original one.
It's pretty much what you see when you look up Glass House. So it's very famous, and he built that in 1949.
Okay.
So it's a rectangular, box. All the walls are glass. To the right third in one of the kind of center is a column, and that's the bathroom. Then that's the only part that doesn't have windows.
Yeah. Okay, I see it here.
Yeah, and so that was pretty famous, but that sits on a 40-acre property that he basically used as his personal lab for trying out new things. So
yeah,
he's done tons of skyscrapers and very, very famous ones. But that episode was kind of focusing on what he'd done on this property. And so there's a lake, and he built the lake pavilions, and there's a bunch of little like Roman pavilions jutting out into the lake. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then he was talking, okay, I've got the glass house so you can see everything. And that was his main, I'd say that was his main living area. There's a kitchen, bathroom, there's a bed, there's but then he's like, okay, so this over here, and there's in the earth, there's a berm, and there's just some doors. And so that was another dwelling area, which was really interesting because you go in, and then you go into the center room, and there's it's a bedroom is really what it is.
Okay.
The bed, but then you can pull all of the walls so that it's a continuous wall and no windows.
Oh.
So he's like, there's everything on view, and here's nothing on view.
Yeah.
Completely private. This is like the intimate area.
Yeah.
So there's the pavilions, there's the private and the very public. And then he has an art gallery. It's unreal. It's this big, huge thing. And there's 3 cylinders. So 3 round things you can see up into the ceiling. It's probably 20 feet high.
Okay.
And they're just big, huge walls that you can pull, and then they've got art on them.
Oh.
This guy was friends with everybody and very much friends with Andy Warhol.
Okay.
So he's just like, oh, there's another Warhol. There's another Warhol. There's another one. Oh, there's, and he just named, I mean, this gallery that's his private gallery, probably half of it given to him by friends who are super famous. It was probably worth, 100 or 200 million just itself.
Jeez. Yeah.
And probably didn't pay hardly anything for it because there's even a Andy Warhol of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they were friends. So, the photograph thing where he did like Marilyn Monroe, well, he did Philip Johnson.
Oh.
So, and a bunch of other stuff. So, and then he did another that he developed as kind of like a visitors center entrance. So when he died, he gave the property to the state to be a museum.
Okay.
But because he didn't have kids, because he was a gay man and didn't have kids.
Yeah.
And he was full of himself. So, so he built another building that had no straight lines. So it was just blown concrete. And so he just formed, curves and stuff and just blew the concrete in. So it has no straight, it looks like a Dr. Seuss house.
Wow.
So and that was meant to be kind of the entrance to the property. And there's a few other buildings around that he built on the property, and that's this you can just walk around, and I drove by it, and it wasn't open yet, so I was just looking from the road. I'm like, oh, there's the glass house. Oh, there, so you can see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is cool. This is what I saw on TV. It was amazing. That seems to be the theme. I drove by and I saw Calder's studio. Workshop studio. I drove by and saw Philip Johnson's home and studio.
Yeah.
I drove by and saw Pinkwater's house. I drove by, so I drive by. I've been fortunate to drive by a lot of places.
Yeah.
But
seems like they all kind of congregate up there in New England.
There's a surprising amount of stuff in Connecticut. I think it's the closeness to New York City.
Yeah.
So if you need space in nature, you need a space. If you need 40 acres, you go to Connecticut, and you can still get down to New York for a show.
Right.
So, and there's train service and all that. So it's logical, but it's amazing. There's amazing how stuff. I mean, Bridgeport, Connecticut is hugely famous because like the Remington, all the gun manufacturers were there. They have the helicopter manufacturers there, Sikorsky.
Okay.
Lots of stuff. So it's really a kind of cool place, but you never know what's hidden back there. But so that was just fascinating. And he's done a lot of famous buildings. There's one called the Lipstick Building.
Okay.
And it's in New York. It's a skyscraper, and it looks like a tube of lipstick.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's a 34-story, 453-foot high postmodern skyscraper completed in 1986. So this guy was 1949. Wow. This is 1986. He was still at work in the 2000s.
Jeez.
And so he just seemed to never stop. And at 92, he was still going into work and still designing and still, making buildings. So besides the fact that he has to associate with venture capitalists and he was very, very popular. He was a celebrity in his own right during his life. Problem is, so he was the first director of architecture at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. And he brought in shows. He had a show there in 1930s. He brought in Gropius. He brought in Mies van der Rohe. He brought in Le Corbusier. And many of them fled Europe and came to the U.S. because of him. He helped them.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because he was a huge, and I don't mean this in a admiring way, in a very active way, a huge fan of Adolf Hitler.
Oh, no.
To the point that he quit his job in 1935 so that he could go to Germany and become a journalist for a socialist newspaper trying to start the Nazi party in the U.S.
Wow. Oh, no.
That's problematic.
Yeah.
At best. And very anti-Semitic, very, these were his views then.
Yeah.
Since then, his comment is, in an interview, he goes, I have no excuse for such unbelievable stupidity. I don't know how you expiate guilt. And expiate means make amends, reparation, atonement. He says, it was the stupidest thing I ever did, and I never forgive myself, and I never can atone for it. There's nothing I can do. That's been torture to me ever since. So, that's fine. Anybody can say anything.
Right.
After when he came back from touring Germany, he finally kind of recanted. And then he was then he joined the army and fought for the U.S. But then when he came back, he designed a synagogue for free.
Nice.
So he tried to make up for it. And then the commentary is like, for a guy who supported the Nazi Party and was anti-Semitic, he kind of turned it around because all the people that he should have been offended, meaning all of the Jews in New York City who had all the money, became his friends.
Yeah.
And were the ones funding most of his work.
Right.
The dude that he had another relationship with, not a romantic, but a business relationship, was so famous building. So Glass House is very famous.
Yeah.
Famous, infamous Trump Tower in New York City.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he was buds with Trump.
Oh.
In the 80s, during the building period, soured quickly.
Right.
So it didn't last, but he did design one of the skyscrapers for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where the Lincoln Center is? Like have you ever seen the Lincoln Center concert hall? Have you seen Ghostbusters?
Yeah. That's Lincoln Center.
Yeah, that one. He designed that. Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts is Philip Johnson.
Yeah.
And very famous.
Right.
But you can see in all of these, in the skyscrapers, in the Lincoln Center, you can see that international style, those glass curtains, the concrete, the steel, those kind of things. And the whole reason I'm bringing it up because it made a big impression on me.
Yeah.
And so I started noticing architecture. And this is still about Philip Johnson, but what was really funny is that the Phoenix Public Library was starting to be built on the Deck Park Tunnel. The big, huge building, big, huge library.
Yeah.
And it was a lot made of it, but I was very aware of who the architect was. And it was a guy named Will Bruder, who is local.
Okay.
And does work in Phoenix. And one of the characteristics of Will Bruder's work are these rammed earth walls. So you take just different earth, and so it gives this kind of sandstone layered structure, but you super compress it.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really neat. I was all into Will Bruder. So a little bit later on, I was working for Robin Stuckey, which is that high-end furniture store, in the glorious position of delivery driver.
Right.
Still, we went to nicer houses a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So I was down in Ahwatukee, and we were delivering some bedroom furniture, and the guy's like, "Hey, it's a really cool house. Number one, you walked up, there's like this 2-story glass kind of gondola thing with like big brass copper chains coming down that the water could run down. And I think those were kind of like that place up in heading towards Payson. There's a place that does all these bells and stuff. And so it's very, Arizona-y. And then there's all these walls that were definitely rammed earth walls. And he goes, okay, it'll probably be easier to take it up the back and onto the roof. So there's a staircase up onto the roof over the garage. And he goes, and then he says, don't worry about the floor. It will hold you.
Okay.
So from the door to the roof to the other side of his bedroom was a glass side walk.
Oh.
So you could see down, and then there was just a glass wall. So it was a full glass wall and a glass walkway.
Yeah.
And so it was a little bit disconcerting. And so I said, we did our thing. I was looking at it, I was like, this is really cool. This is a cool house. They're like, was this by Will Bruder? Because it looked like a Will Bruder house. And he's like, he kind of sighed. And he's like, I designed this house.
Oh no.
He goes, Will Bruder's my competition.
Oh.
which was really cool. I mean,
Oh, wow.
you know, he I think he just appreciated the fact that I would even know who Will Bruder is, and then
Yeah.
he's like, he's my competition. He's getting all the publicity, but we do, you know,
Like
we've worked together.
Yeah.
We're contemporaries.
Yeah.
So, but he was the guy.
Funny.
He designed the house. So it was a gorgeous house. It was gorgeous. It's fun. It's in Awatuki. It's just beautiful. But it was great. It was a great conversation. But that was just kind of from starting to notice architecture. And so I think that is something that I hope. I mean, obviously, if you know what brutalist architecture is, you know we've done somewhat of our job of showing you architecture. But the fact that we would go to ASU's campus just to look at that funky museum,
right?
And we are aware, for instance, like Gamage Center,
right.
which is funny because the legend, and then when you look at it from the legend of Gamage, in case anybody listening doesn't know, is that Frank Lloyd Wright designed it, but he hated Grady Gamage. And so if you look at an aerial view, it looks like a toilet. And it does.
Yeah, it does.
But, you know, those fun things, and I don't think you were with us in Chicago. You weren't, is Ezra. No, so I took Ezra to see the Roby House in Chicago.
Okay.
Which is on the University of Chicago campus. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But it was cool. From the outside. It was like Sunday. I think it was closed.
Oh, okay.
But we like architecture. I think there's a lot of value in it. And to that end, we have been by another one of Philip Johnson's creations. So he's done so many that are so varied. But the one that I was like, okay, we got to go see it because we were really close, but it's in Southern California.
Okay.
And it is amazing. I'll give it that. But it's the Crystal Cathedral. And the way he designed it, it's all steel, like grid on the inside. But the way he designed it was so that when you were sitting on the inside, it looked like you were could just see the outside. So it's all these little glass, little windows and all these little geometric shapes all over the place in this gridded out. It kind of looks like stage rigging, right?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of that biosphere too in Tucson there.
Yeah, very similar. What's as I was reading up on it, what's cool is that all of the windows are set in a special silicone so that they can withstand shaking from earthquakes.
Oh.
So smart, you know.
Yeah.
Neat stuff. It was this will only make sense to people, you know, this is a very specific cultural reference, but we went by it. And I don't think there was any service in going in at the time, but it was made for a church, and then the church went bankrupt, and I think there was a lot of crooked dealings in that, but I think the Catholic diocese of the area has taken it over now.
Okay.
But what was really funny is we went there, and there's a Crystal Cathedral, there's a spire next to it. But then there was this big thing that was just this staircase up to a platform. And it's so funny because it is we're just looking at it because it's not a part of the spire or the Crystal Cathedral. It was just right next to it. And all I could think of was the Rameumptom. Because it just looked like a platform where somebody could go to the top of it and pray very publicly and tell everybody how much better they were than themselves, and then go down. Because there's no other, it's just this huge tall staircase to a platform. There's nothing. And I was like, wow, you went and built one. You went and really built one. So it was funny to see that, and I can't see any pictures of it here, uh, but it cracked me up because when we drove into the parking lot and I saw that, I was like, "That's unreal."
Yeah.
So um, it was really cool to go by that and to be close enough to just almost touch something that I'd seen and studied a little bit. So it was really it's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it might be this building here where there's just a cross up on top of it and it's just a staircase up to the top, but great place. But I liked what that made me aware of. And
Yeah.
I liked the class I took, and it's always interesting, especially after the class, the 20th century architecture and furniture, which is a
Mm-hmm. Weird
weird
mixture.
class.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of I would run across some very famous things, especially working for Robin Stuckey.
Yeah.
Um, there's this the guy that designed, I think it's the Pan Am terminal at JFK.
Mm-hmm.
That's very famous, like arch. It's Saarinen, Eero Saarinen
Okay.
designed the TWA terminal,
Mm.
not Pan Am. It's still there. It's a really cool swoop. Kind of looks like it's just a bump in the area. Really
Yeah.
cool. He also designed furniture, and there's this one called the Lily table, I think, and it's like a white plastic looking thing as a base and kind of curves out, and
Oh.
and it's round, and then the chairs have a base like that, and then they have a they'll have a pretty color like a orange red inset, and they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like egg chairs, but not that dramatic.
Yeah.
We went to a house, and this old lady had a Saarinen sitting there.
Yeah.
Easily $5,000 to
Right.
pick that up now. Easily.
Wow.
Went to Robin Stuckey. They were selling these chairs that were they were a knockoff of a very famous chair
Mm-hmm.
that we've studied. I was at Mesa Community College, and they had all these bent wood chairs. So bent wood is like they take um, probably about maybe a 3/4 inch diameter cane, let's say,
Yeah.
and they steam it and bend it. And there's the cheap little chairs that you think these are cheap little chairs, but the guy that designed it for mass production was Thonet. And I turned over the chair at Mesa Community College. It was just sitting out the surplus, and it was a Thonet. I'm like, okay, this is a pretty famous, cheap, crappy chair.
Yeah.
And so it's just the thing about it is it makes you very aware of your surroundings.
Yeah.
When you understand what went into it, and it's kind of like in if you've seen The Devil Wears Prada.
Mm-hmm.
Where she's like, well, why are you wearing that? Well, I just like this blue. He goes, well, let me tell you about that blue.
Mm-hmm.
And just, being able to know that, and
Yeah.
you've probably seen it, but you can sit side by side, high fashion and similar.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to know why, but you know the difference.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's it's a joke on Parks and Rec when they're doing a memorial service, and they have a bunch of different types of ribbon, and Jerry's there and he's like, they're all black. And it's like no, it's onyx, midnight, storm cloud, and then void by Armani.
Well,
like there are differences.
Yeah, that was one of the landmark color things, was the blackest black. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that goes, there's a show called Mad About You,
Mm-hmm.
way back long time ago. But there's two brothers they played two brothers on a show, and they wanted to do kind of an oral history of their grandparents.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they were hiring somebody to read the transcript. It was Nathan Lane who was playing the character.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was early introduction to Nathan Lane, and his demands were they had this certain kind of water.
Mm.
And so the whole discussion was that they couldn't find that water. They didn't get the water. And so he got there and he tried the water and he's like, I can't do this. It's not. And so then later on towards the end of the show, they're like, they got the water and they got the water that they got. And so the guy's sitting there with his brother who messed up.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, try this water. He goes, oh, it's water. He goes, try this one. He goes, oh, it lubricates my throat.
Yeah.
Like just, those little, it's fun being aware of those little things that you're just like, why does this make a difference? Why does the quality make a difference? And to see somebody who had a career from 1920, so an 80 plus year career.
Yeah.
Is unreal.
Yeah.
And he was even talking about on a show, I watched an interview with him and he said, I was working as an architect in Connecticut, but I hadn't gone to school. And then they passed this law where you had to have a license. So I went over to Chicago because and then they caught up with me. So then I finally went to school. So he didn't go to school until he's 30.
Wow. Yeah.
And in his 30s. So he goes, but don't waste time in school. It's like he was a funny guy. And he was difficult, but he was also a big fan of those that were up and coming. And he did a lot to promote, and he did a lot to teach, and he did a lot to make architecture a fashionable thing. So I would never have known that Michael Graves designed your Portland building.
Right.
And once you look at it, you're like, well, that is different. It's got a different look to it. And I always wonder about those different buildings. And then I also look at other buildings and go, well, that was very boring.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference, and you can tell when somebody's, if we went down the list of buildings that he designed, they're all centerpieces of the different cities. He's got New York, Chicago, Minneapolis, Houston, all these, and the list goes on. And he just he designed tons. He designed with Mies van der Rohe. They were partners for a while. There's one very famous building that he's credited as helping design it. He's like, but actually as difficult as he was, he also was seemingly honest, because he's like, because I don't know why my name's on that. Mies did the whole thing. Mies van der Rohe did the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's his design. I helped, but it was definitely him.
Yeah.
And it's a very famous building. He's given credit for it because I don't deserve any credit for that. And so it's nice.
Yeah.
He isn't trying to claim anything. He's like, if I did, I did it. If I didn't, I did. I'm not going to try and say that I did. And so problematic, because of his early indiscretions.
Yeah.
But he also championed and tried to make up for and lived with the guilt for his whole life. And I think that's the difference between some of the people we're seeing now, that it's the art and the artist are unrepentant, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill Cosby isn't apologizing. He's just fighting it in court.
Yeah.
That's what really is distasteful.
Right.
Kanye is still crazy.
Yeah.
And he's not getting any saner.
Yeah. Even if it's something like I think Kanye has said sorry, but he's not doing anything about it.
Right. He's not making up for it. He's like, sorry.
Yeah.
That's, he looks like a punished kid sitting in the corner. He's not owning it. And I've seen examples of many other people. There's a he was a politician, but he was Eddie Bashaw. here, like Basha's Grocery. But
Really?
he ran for governor, and he was a kick in the pants. I mean, he was a funny guy.
Yeah.
But they're all like, so did you smoke marijuana in college? He goes, yeah. Because did you inhale? Of course I did, because it was a big thing back then.
Okay.
Some politicians said I smoked marijuana, but I didn't inhale. Because yeah, how are you supposed to smoke it if you don't inhale? He goes, but that was when I was in college. I don't do that anymore. It's like he's like, yeah, I did it. And I appreciate honesty, even if you had indiscretions, that you do what you can to make up for what was wrong, or now is wrong. Yeah. And I think he tried. I don't think he's completely irredeemable. Yeah. I think he's a difficult guy, and so you want to hate him.
Right.
But classy. And then I really love his glasses. So
his glasses.
Yeah, forever. And I looked back, and they had old pictures of him, and he still had them, and they're just these little like circle, heavy black rimmed circle glasses. So he looks like a little owl. And but he had them for decades, the same ones. Jeez. And so they're classic, right?
Yeah.
And so I do like I like Philip Johnson. I know he's problematic, but I do think he was I think he was definitely somebody who pushed American architecture forward.
Yeah.
And wasn't afraid, right?
Yeah.
That's the big thing is he just did what he did. And he is a bridge. And that's the thing that's amazing, is that these very, very, very famous architects, he was the bridge between the earliest 20th century and the late 20th century, and he was the constant. So he deserves something for that. So
yeah,
I'm sure somebody would want to tell me otherwise, but I still think, even after learning what I've learned, that it has a value, and he's still innovative. So, and he's frustrating, but he's innovative. So there you go. So
yeah.
There's your journey through architecture.
Yeah. I think, as much as I don't know too much about architecture, I think I can still recognize when something is good architecture.
Yeah.
And like I'll make plans to like go out of my way to drive by things, or like if I have ever a reason to go out to St. John's here in Portland, I'll want to go on the Cathedral Bridge because it's gorgeous, and just have an excuse to go over it a few times.
Well, that's like I was leaving Manhattan, and I got to cross the George Washington Bridge, and I'm just like, could you be more iconic?
Yeah.
If you picture a bridge in New York, it's either the Brooklyn Bridge or this.
Yeah.
And there's 20 more, but this is what you're picturing.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. It's amazing. So yeah, I think even if you don't know, and then when you do know, and then there's innovators, and then there are different ways. So I think that a lot of our modern architecture and our modern material handling has to pay tribute to Frank Lloyd Wright. So I think he was the most technically advanced architect, because I think he was more than an architect.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So Philip Johnson, he could design a skyscraper. That's fine. And he knew some about materials, but he wasn't a innovator. One of the funny things he said, he goes, yeah, Frank Lloyd Wright was the old style, and we gave him a lot of problems. And I once told Frank Lloyd Wright he was the best architect of the 19th century, and we were well into the 20th. He goes, yeah, I regret that. Sorry, Frank.
Yeah.
So that just kind of speaks to his personality. But
yeah,
there are different levels of architect. There's very good design. There's very good technical advances. I think I think the reason Frank Lloyd Wright gets the credit that he does is he did both.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things we wouldn't have today if he hadn't proven they work. I think we wouldn't have as many skyscrapers today if Philip Johnson hadn't come around and pushed that international style.
Yeah.
So that's how they go. Anyway,
that's cool.
I appreciate it, and it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Different thing to consider.
That's really good. Yeah, it's definitely something I want to try to learn more about. Yeah. And I think a lot of places are maybe excited to teach that, because any building that is a little different, there'll be plaques and things talking about them, and so I think if you just are aware and looking around, you can learn.
And they'll tell you why it's important too, and sometimes you can be really amazed at why. Like, why is this important? And you'll say they did this thing and this thing. You're like, oh wow, so that's it's always, there's a lot of innovation that we don't know about. But very, very, very cool. And I like architecture a lot, and it always makes an impression on me. So go out and look at buildings.
Yeah. It's my goal in life to one day live in a brutalist house, but there's not very many of them. There's a lot of brutalist buildings, but not houses.
I almost think that if I hit the lottery, I would replace our house with a brutalist. I do concrete. Yeah. It'd be a mix. It'd be probably closer to the Le Corbusier, because I like the funky windows. Yeah. But I definitely would do like heavy duty concrete and steel as the main. I love concrete and steel.
Yeah. So the only thing is that we need some plants around if Chloe was going to be a part of it. But it works great.
Did I tell you there would be a huge interior courtyard atrium as well? There has to be that with glass all the way around. Yeah. That's a deal breaker if it's not there. So I too want nature in there. I just really like steel and concrete too.
Yeah. So, me too.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason.
And thanks for another week of listening.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.